I'm going to read out this statement from Ricky Hatton, which was posted on Instagram by Dillian Whyte. It goes as follows. Just want to nip this one in the bud. On Saturday, after I noticed it on Twitter that an offer had allegedly been made regarding Lucas Browne, I received an offer from Eddie Hearn. I had not received anything to that point. I am grateful to Eddie for the offer, but I have discussed this at length with Lucas, and at this moment we are agreed that we both have different views on what it would take to make that fight. Eddie values it at considerably less than a Chisora fight, and no disrespect to Eddie, I have a different view. Derek versus Dillian was the fight of the night last time, and this would be no different. We were already working on fight options for Lucas, and we'll continue to work on our plans to get him back to holding the world title belt again. It may be that this fight is one that can be made down the line, as certainly there is no love lost there. Ricky. So as you hear there, people, Lucas Browne and Ricky Hatton have turned down the chance to face Dillian Whyte on the Anthony Joshua Kubrat Pulev undercard. And it appears that money is the issue. That's what Ricky Hatton is suggesting there. Now, I am not privy to how much money they're offering Lucas Browne, but I saw an interview on IFL with Eddie Hearn, and he seemed to be of the attitude and of the mindset that Lucas Browne is lucky to be getting any offers at all, considering the fact that he's coming back from a drug ban and he's not with a major promoter. He doesn't have a deal with a major broadcaster. So, at least not a major broadcaster that deals in big time boxing like Sky. So, for us to be offering him any kind of fight, he needs to take it with both hands. That seems to be Eddie Hearn's attitude towards this Lucas Browne situation. I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm not saying I disagree with him. I'm just putting it out there. That seems to be Eddie Hearn's attitude. Now, something that a lot of people may not be taking into consideration when it comes to this fight. You know, some people are going to say, well, Eddie Hearn should just stop being stingy and offer Lucas Browne more money. Or Dillian Whyte should agree to take a smaller percentage. I've seen Eddie Hearn in interviews many times before speak about the fact that Anthony Joshua and some of his other fighters have ownership of the show. So when Anthony Joshua fights, he has ownership of that show. And what that entails, according to Eddie Hearn, is Joshua having the final word over where the budget for the show is allocated in terms of who he's going to have on his undercard, how much we're going to pay people on the undercard, so on and so forth. This is what Eddie Hearn has said. I'm sure many of you have seen his IFL TV interviews yourselves where Eddie Hearn has said this, that Joshua is the one who has final say about who goes on his undercard and how much they get paid, essentially. I mean, Eddie Hearn might come to Joshua and say, look, we can put this guy on the undercard, but he's going to want this much money. Yes or no? Should he go on the undercard? And Joshua can either say, well, ask him if he wants less, if he can take less money, or maybe we won't put him on. That's essentially what it is, according to Eddie Hearn. So with that being said, do you think Joshua would really want to come out of his pocket in any substantial way to pay for Dillian Whyte versus Lucas Browne? I don't think he's got any issue with Lucas Browne as far as I know, but we know there's no love lost between Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. So, again, that's something worth considering. Anyway, it's a little disappointing because most of us didn't mind the Dillian Whyte-Lucas Browne fight. At least there's some needle there. At least Lucas Browne's a big puncher, and we know he'd come to give it his all. And we know that we're not going to get a Chisora fight, so Lucas Browne was, for my money, a decent matchup for Dillian Whyte. Maybe some of you guys would prefer to see Dillian Whyte face Robert Helenius or whoever else they've got lined up as a substitute or an alternative, to Derek Chisora. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.